Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good evening. Wherever you are, we're happy you're here. I am Robyn,
And I'm Gil.
and we are Rockin the Love. So we are so excited to be joining you today. As you can see, we're together, which is always exciting. From Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe, California, where the weather is cold.
Where the weather outside is frightening. Um, no, not it's not that bad. It's just cold, and us California people, it rains, and we think we're in a monsoon. So anyway, here we are.
We're happy to be here today. We're just rocking the love. We've been rocking the love this week with family, hanging out.
Well, it's a time of family.
Yeah. Why?
Because it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, because it's Thanksgiving. And we love to hang out with people that we love over Thanksgiving. And, that's happened differently over the years, right?
Yeah, it happened differently. It's an interesting thing. I was thinking about Thanksgiving, and I was thinking, how did it become about family?
Mm.
You have an answer?
No, I don't really.
I always know when you don't have an answer because you try to make like an intelligent sound.
Make an intelligent sound.
Ponder that. It's a pondering sound. Yeah. So I always know.
Translation. Oh no.
I think like in that thing you were waiting for something to come. Anyway, so we're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving. And we have special guests today. They're our family. So you get to not only see the interactions of our marriage, but you get to see the joyous interactions of family. Because we didn't think you'd get enough of that this week. So, what else do you want to say? How's your week been?
My week's been good. It's been really good. It's been fun. I had a great time yesterday. That was fun. Got to see special friend and hang out and do some fun stuff. We'll probably hear a little more about that later. I've been in a hot tub twice in the last couple days. That's pretty cool.
And a hot tub out in the snow.
Outside. Yeah.
I think it always looks cooler when like people are in a hot tub and the snow's surrounding them. For some reason, it feels more luxurious, right? Or something.
Yeah, it's an illusion, but yes, it does appear that way.
It is an illusion.
Basically what it is my feet get really cold between the hot tub and where I'm going. But other than that, it's great. However, we might have some stories about that too later. Anyway.
You're saving up some big stories.
Yeah, there's some good stuff coming. Oh. Good stuff.
Yeah. Stay tuned if you want to hear about Gil's cold feet. Yeah, baby. All right. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's kind of one of those weeks that just melds together, like because we're on vacation and you're here, and time isn't really real because we don't have anything we have to do.
Yeah, we keep sneaking in little things here and there.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird though, but it's good. It's good. And the exciting part is we still have like 4 more days here.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
That is exciting. And so, I was just thinking about the fact that we haven't invited people to like chime in today yet. So we should really invite you to chime in. If you're on with us today, let us know, say hello, ask questions, share your comments, go to our YouTube channel and like it or subscribe, I guess is the proper term. And we would really appreciate that. Besides that, I could tell them lots of stories. I don't have a story. I don't have a good story today.
Okay.
Do you have a good story? Oh, should we talk about good news?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And now it's time for the good news.
And we try to bring you some of this every week because it's a good reminder that there is what's going on that we don't necessarily find highlighted if we just turn on our radios or televisions or our computers. So,
well, we can always find the stuff that's going wrong. It's easy to find that anywhere we look. So it's just remembering and reminding you that it's beyond what we see sometimes, but it's out there. So what's your good news?
My good news is that a large home builder, which I've seen in many areas of the country, is building homes in Austin, Texas, utilizing a 3D printing system. They are literally building not 400, about 100 homes, and they're doing it in terms of building the walls and electrical and all the air venting and all that stuff for around a third of what it costs to do it in a traditional sense.
And you remember that was one of my good newses in the very beginning, that they were starting to do that. And the company, they were using all recycled materials.
Yeah.
So it's catching on.
So I think the cool part about that is that the possibility that we could really create housing at a much more reasonable rate in today's economy. And if we can build a full 3 to 5 bedroom tract house, we could build tiny homes and other things very inexpensively if we put our minds to it. Not to mention the fact that these things are way sturdier and more energy efficient.
It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Okay, my story is about a man in Utah, and he was out with his wife. It was their wedding anniversary, and they were driving over this bridge, which was where he took her on their first date. And they looked down I guess it was the boatway, and there was a car driving down the boatway into the water. And the man got out of his car, and this is icy water in Utah. The man got out of his car and jumped in and pulled this woman out of her car as the car was going under. And she said, "I'm trying to kill myself." And he said something like, whatever you're trying to do, I'm here now and I love you and I'm not going to let that happen. And pulled her out while the wife was standing up on the top, and called emergency, which came and they rescued the woman. And that was just a cool thing, because they were said it was very lucky that they both survived that cold water, and the woman being in the car, and the car was going down, and the balance of that. But I'm always amazed when people jump out to help people like that.
I think the key is somebody stepping in where it's not expected, and also where it could be dangerous, and where there's, we're talking about family and all of that, and there's no particular family tie. There's nothing there except the human family that ties us together.
And there's no time to think.
Right.
There's no time for the wife to say, "No, honey, don't." Or, I mean, things just happen, and it's like it's a higher power that's thinking through you.
Yeah.
And you just have to go on your feelings and adrenaline
and trust
and know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's right. That's the key. Trusting what you're doing, that it's the right thing at the right time. And what a powerful gift. What an incredible thing that this woman who thought no one would care has someone pulling her out. Wow.
And she said something like, she still didn't want to live, but she couldn't fight it. She was just, it
was too much.
It was all too much. And so they haven't met yet, but he's talked to her family, and he's looking forward to meeting her and getting to know her
since that time. Yeah. Wow. That is pretty cool.
And I think that, we're going to talk about what Thanksgiving is. But I think, that's what Thanksgiving to me seems to have become, is a time where we really get to express being grateful, and really get to look at our lives and what we have and all of that. And just, what a thing to be grateful for, your life truly. You've got to wonder, on the other hand, the person that was trying to commit suicide, like, why am I still here? Why didn't this work? There must be a reason,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just very interesting.
So Kent, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving blessings.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
So we're talking about family and Thanksgiving. And when we get back, you are going to meet our family and see what a blessing we have. And so join us right here on New Thought Media Network.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferlin Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a super special thank you to Dr. Tracy Brown, RSCP. Thanks for being a super donor. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.
And we're back. I'm Robyn.
And I'm Gil, and this is Rockin the Love. And we are happy to be here on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2022. Welcome, everybody. We're talking about family and Thanksgiving and all those fun things today. And so we're very excited now to have the opportunity to introduce you to some of our family. Are you excited? Oh, look at that. There they are. There's Courtney and Robert and Gio. Hey, how are you?
We're really good. So just for those of you out there that don't know, Courtney is our sister. Gio and Robert are our godsons. Gio's the big furry one, and the little, he's 14 years old, and the other one is 13 years old. quickly approaching the next numbers.
That's true. Just
Yeah.
about there.
Yeah. So
All right.
all right. So how are you at this fine Thanksgiving? Ready for turkey?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Gio's always ready for turkey.
Did we say food?
Right? Exactly.
So tell us what is Thanksgiving? What does this holiday mean to you? Or where did it come from? Or what do you know about it? There's no wrong answer.
Whatever you want to share. Who wants to go first?
I would say it's like so it involves like Native Americans and like the colonists like getting together and then like I feel like they were at kind of like at war and then they became peace and for that one day they sat down and shared a meal together and it became Thanksgiving. So like you're with people that you love and yeah.
Okay. You have anything different, G?
I think it was like a celebration. And I think the native people like shared that with the colonists. And yeah.
All right. So we get together and celebrate.
Absolutely. And I want to say, as far as Thanksgiving for us, it's all about family. So to be together and to have a big meal, but really to have this time where, things slow down and we get to be grateful for each other. And that's, to me, it's all about heart. It's all about being together.
So what I'm hearing is it's not really about Thanksgiving Day per se. It's about taking a special time to hang out and do stuff together.
Yes.
Being with the family.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. Do you want to say anything about Thanksgiving?
About Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Like what it is to me?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think over the years, it's been an opportunity to do exactly that, to gather with family, to bring people together. And it's changed over the years. And, doing it now with this family unit is a little different and new and not so new now because we've been doing it for a while. But it's a new opportunity to find out what family means and to be in it. For me.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, pretty much what you all said. I mean, I think it's about gratitude for me. I think, as has been told, there's lots of controversy about the story of Thanksgiving, and listening to Gio and Robert say that it takes me back to elementary school and the nice story about how kind everyone was and sat down to a big dinner and and what I've known now or read now wasn't quite that way. It wasn't quite that friendly. It didn't really go exactly like that. And and there's a lot of big feelings about the stories and the way Native Americans are treated or were treated and all of that. And so I think for me, there's two parts to Thanksgiving. And one is the gratitude and I don't know, then just almost a blessing, a time of blessing really for all that have been wronged or haven't been able to live their life the way it feels like it should have been, like a just life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's, the glorified story has created, though, the possibility for us all to create real family or to establish new ways of being in family. And so even with the history of it being slightly inaccurate, perhaps, the reality of where it's brought us is still there. And I really appreciate that. And I think as we all continue to celebrate that and to be honest about all of it, we will heal all of that as people.
That is the goal, right? The goal is to continue to let the truth unfold and allow it to be our healing. Right. Right?
Right.
Right.
Right on cue. Thank you.
It's like having backup singers, sort of.
So what
So what's one of your favorite things about Thanksgiving?
there you go.
Oh, Jill.
I would say like being with the family and enjoying a meal that we all made together.
Oh, you'll be cooking with me tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But
I don't know. I know it's hard to have him in the kitchen beforehand because I'm like, where did that go? What about you, Robert? What's one of your favorite things about Thanksgiving?
I would say being with family and getting to enjoy the food that was made and appreciate like appreciating like what you've gotten this year and just appreciating everyone and everything and
Are you guys going to be able to remember all that you've gotten this year?
no comment.
All right. So, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
turkey.
Sorry, Mama, you can answer afterwards.
You're good. Turkey.
Well, actually everything.
Okay.
But if you had to pick only one,
I would say stuffing.
Uh-huh.
what about you?
You already know. It's
Sweet potatoes?
it's the pie,
Oh.
vanilla ice cream. That's
Oh,
but they go together.
Got it.
They're one.
Or actually, I would say your the thing that you make
Sweet potatoes.
with the stuff in it,
With the marshmallows, yeah.
the marshmallow. That's in it.
yeah, that's the sweet potatoes. That's right.
Yes.
That hits it.
Okay. So as long as it has sugar, you're good with it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we've
Yep.
heard a lot about, family and Thanksgiving and how grateful we are. And so now I want to know the truth. Is it always great to be with family?
Meh.
It depends.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. What does it depend on? You can be honest. Everybody out there has had family and has not liked their family at some point in time.
Well, it depends on like the conversation
Okay.
and how it goes, I would say.
So do you sometimes disagree with family?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. And do you sometimes get mad at family?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they get mad at you?
Yes.
I was expecting an oh yes there. And so in the midst of all of that, why is family special?
Because it's a bond. Like it's a bond for your whole life. It's something that leaves or disappears.
Okay. So even when you're frustrated and you may be angry or they may be angry, you feel like there's still connection. they're still going to be there. Yes. Do we ever go through that, honey? The two of us?
No.
Okay, we're beyond that point, just so you know, in our relationship. However, okay, you can tell the truth about that too if you want.
Do you want to add anything, Courtney?
I echo everything that everybody said. I think that it's, we're a forever family. And no matter what happens, we stay together. And what I see as we go through the ups and downs of, parenting and being teenagers and all that is that we continue to grow stronger and we learn from each other. Not always in the moment. It may take time. But it's good and it's rich, because there is that forever bond. Nobody's going anywhere, even if you get mad.
And does it ever feel like some people are going somewhere? Does it feel like people, like, recently we've had a major change in how we live.
We have definitely been tested.
So does anybody have feelings about
So for those of you that don't know,
okay,
we all live together, and we've lived together for 9 years. And so when Gil moved to Albuquerque, and that was a big change for one of us to leave the house. Right?
yes.
Now we're talking about other changes and other possibilities, and they're all big.
They're all big.
Or they're all small, depending on how we look at it. But they're all there. So,
and we affectionately call Gil G-Pops. So G-Pops just asked a question about, can you say that again? About the change?
Yeah, I was just wondering, if there were feelings around, how does it feel when we say, oh, we're a forever family, we're always together, and then I moved to Albuquerque?
Well, I would say that's a physical change. It's not like we're never going to see you again.
Clearly.
Yeah. Yes, for those of you who don't know, we are now coming from the Tahoe North studio with the family and the Tahoe South studio with Robyn and I, which basically is the living room and the bedroom. So we're not too far away from each other today.
Which is how we like it.
But yeah, that's a good point, Gio. It's there's a difference between a physical and an emotional or a spiritual shift. And I think I had to think really long and hard, and I had to think about it with Godmom, and I think about it with your mom, and I think about it with all of us. Like, wow, can this work? Is this possible to be physically more distant and still remain connected? Hey, Wayne, good to see you. Howdy from Calgary.
And I just want to share on that, Godpop, and then I do want to hear if Robert wants to share anything, that we visioned, Gil and Robyn and I, about the Albuquerque move. And, everything that came up in our visioning was that it was good. And this is before Gil moved. And so we had this foundation that we stood on, knowing, because we all stand on that spiritual foundation, that no matter what, no matter how it looked, regardless of appearances, it was good. And I think the first couple months, we had to remind ourselves of that a lot, as we were, boys were entering their last year of middle school one and the first year of high school the other, and now G-Pops wasn't there, and Godmom and I are holding down the fort. So I just love that, we are, as a family, are rooted in the foundation of our own spiritual practice, which anchored us. So I think that's so important, that yes, we're connected no matter what, and we know that, and we're living that. So what do you think? What do you want to share about G-Pops living in Albuquerque?
It was hard. It was emotional. Um, Especially for the first 2 months, it was a little like rocky. I feel like my emotions didn't like I couldn't decide like what I was feeling. So like I was feeling everything. Um, but like I got used to it. And yeah.
Well, I feel like I've, really done the family a service because I've created a space where all five of us can gather together um, in about 400 square feet. So I think that's kind of a gift that I brought to the family.
Well, but no,
Together.
I do think what was created though was an opportunity for some bravery, for some courage, for some willingness. I mean, I think you guys were pretty brave to not have G Pops there and be stuck with me and mom. We're much scarier than he is.
Oh, look at that. They both agreed. Woo, who knew?
No,
Huh.
serious. I mean, it opened up the space for a lot of things, I think, and I think that's what growth is about.
Well, and, thinking of that and family, we have expanded our family yet again um, with Talia,
Auntie
and
Talia.
where
Yes.
where the place where I'm living most of the time, and we've met her and she's become part of the family, and she was even going to be here with us this week, and unfortunately couldn't come finally. But I think that's fascinating how that's been the story all along. The story has been, wow, this is big change. I don't know what's going to happen. And then we keep finding these new things that are sort of miraculous that are coming into the picture. I've been, I think this week has been kind of interesting because we are literally, 2 or 3 miles from our first Christmas together as all of us, which was within 2 or 3 months of Giovanni and Robert arriving on the scene with Courtney, right? And Godmom and I got to come and be a part of that. And for many years, I would pretend to be riding the sled down across the couch with the boys on my lap and them laughing hysterically. And they may or may not remember that, but
Yeah. We did that little journey, like a hump of
yep. And then we'd turn and fall down. Anyway,
Yep.
but it was, it's interesting to be in this place and just sort of be reminded of, wow, how have we come? And what's all the new things been? And at that point, we had no idea what was going to happen. We didn't have an idea we were going to be together in this way at that point. I don't believe yet.
We sure didn't.
If my
Yeah.
memory serves me.
Right? For people who don't know, we're an adopted family.
Yes.
Um, I told you guys I was going to get emotional, and it was Godpapa's fault. But that was together. A friend of mine, we had a house here in Tahoe, and so we came to spend Christmas here, and it was the 5 of us, and there the journey began. And we weren't living together then. That was it was about 1.5 years later that we moved in together.
Oh yeah, it's 1.5 years. So it was a while after that.
It was
Yeah.
Giovanni's for us to move together.
So Kent says, what strikes me is the difference between an intentional family of choice versus being born into a family. Yeah, it's an interesting journey, right?
I would say, personally, I think that it's more love and a chosen family.
Say more about that, Robert. Why do you think that?
Cause like I'm not putting people that are just like I'm not putting people down that were born into a family, but I'm saying like they didn't like have a choice. I don't know how to say it, but like
You just did.
yeah,
You just did. No, that's perfect. They didn't have a choice.
but we were like we had a choice to be in a family, and like we created our own like how we wanted it to be.
Mm. Yeah, and I mean that's a whole nother topic about choice. But yeah, I mean I think that's an interesting perspective because when you're when you're in a family, you're born into it, you're just kind of stuck there, right? It feels like sometimes like no matter what, whether you like it or not, that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your mother, you know. But when you're in an adoptive family, you're more aware, and you I don't know, on some level I think we are a deeper we make a deeper commitment to love more.
Stronger links.
Yeah, for me it challenges me around my own family of origin and have my own grown adult children and how we all relate to one another and how much um, I want to be as intentional with them as I am in this. I mean, and it hasn't felt that way. It's not that I haven't been intentional. It's that it hasn't felt as successful being intentional. And so that's an interesting thing. It just brought up a lot of emotions for me.
There is a lot of emotions around it, I think. And I just want to say to Wayne, I told you last week, Wayne, you know we're your spiritual friends and family. So you can't say you have no one. You may not know us all, but we love you out there. Um, and I think that's interesting. I mean, I'm thinking about what you guys just said, though. It makes me think like, what if we looked at the world like it was our adopted family and really intentionally chose to love everybody in it? Like, even the people we hear that aren't always doing the right thing, or you know, the things we may not agree with, or we may see it differently. What if that, you know, was your family
And
and we really made that choice to love deeper?
what if we allowed ourselves to have that love connection of running into the icy water after the car with everyone? What if we had, and what if we treated people that way? That would be a fascinating way to live, wouldn't it?
You guys think you could do that?
I think you can run into the icy water.
No, no. Like you could just love people the way like the way you chose us as your adoptive family, and Mama chose you. What if we loved like other people out there like that? We don't have to even know them or really love them closely, but love them from afar. Like all the time, I hear you guys talking about, who's whack and who's this and who's that and who doesn't, do something right and that person's crazy. What if that was your brother or your sister and you could really choose to, I don't know, forgive them the way you do your brother and continue to love them in a deeper way?
Well, I think they'd have to start with forgiving their brother, but that's another story. I'm sorry.
That's another segment.
No, but yeah. What would that be like?
I think that would change like our entire society.
Mm.
I think that would like bring like peace for everyone. If we
I think
treat
you're right.
family.
Yeah, absolutely. And my sense is that in many ways, that's our whole spiritual journey, is learning how to love without judgment, how to accept people where they are.
And from Linda, I want to honor all the love, dedication, and hard work that all of you have poured into growing this family up in such a beautiful and successful way. Thank you, Linda.
We love you, Linda.
Was she here last night? I don't know.
No, but I mean, it's great to have Linda and Ken who know us
Yeah.
watching, because they know us and they've seen the increments, whether they're there all the time or not. They've seen the two you guys go from being little musketeers running around to being, big big boys, and being like human, not little kids anymore. So
And each of us figuring out how to maneuver that. It's a lot to be in a family and figure out how to allow the space for other people to be who they are. I think it's something that I've really had to work with. How do I allow people to be who they are? How do I allow this adopted sister of mine to do the things that she does and appreciate them instead of criticizing them? And that's been an active choice for me. You may not know that.
Now I do.
You may have thought, my God, he doesn't do that too good. But I'm working on it. No, and it's not, and I don't mean that in a bad way, like, you need to be forgiven or whatever. That's not the point. The point is just, as we work with someone else, it's always that, how do we really allow them to be who they are and to find their way? And I think, and that's a huge thing we have with Robert and Giovanni right now, is how do we love them in a way that both supports them and protects them and gives them space. It's a journey.
it's an age-old question.
It is. And Rob, did you want to say something more?
Yeah, I was just going to say, back to Linda and Ken and anyone out there that knows us and is watching, that I also want to honor you, because I feel like when we first said we were doing this, I don't think anybody understood what it meant, knew what it meant, or could comprehend what it meant. Some of you caught
Including
along.
us.
I think I knew. I mean, to me, this doesn't feel any different than what I thought. And I remember Courtney and I going, does Gil know? Because on whatever level, whether it was conscious or or just some woman intuition, we were like, it was you we were worried about. Like, can you really sign up for this program? But I know, I mean, like, we have friends that still go, or people in our life that still go. Now, where's their mother? Is she do they see her? Yes, they see her every day and night. We're all there. And people couldn't quite understand what it meant, and so I think as friends and supporters, I just want to honor you right back for being there and for always having that supportive word and being that space of holding the container for us, even if you didn't know what you were holding, but really, being able to love us. And I know, like John and people that will say, what do you need? I'll be there. I'll come over. I'll do this, and you just get that, oh yeah, they're family, so thank you right back, family.
Thank
And
you.
we have so many outside of the household even too.
Yeah, so many extended god uncles and aunts and people. So that's what I was gonna say. What do you want to say? I'm
Just
so polite on this show.
to build on what Gil was saying, that I think what is unique about us from the beginning, whether we knew it or not, that we held the space for us to be who we were. We never went into this saying, you have to change, it has to be this way, we can only do it that way. We've always been engaged in an open conversation about things, as we co-parent, as we talk about what's going on in the house or what's happening, what do we need, what do we think, and the millions of family meetings we've had. But I love that's the boys' experience. That's what they've that's what the boys have grown up knowing. So it may be that the family meetings go on too long, we wish they were shorter, but ultimately we've modeled to them that we talk about it and we come back to it. And I think that's that commitment is demonstrated in our success. Yeah. Long term, because living together living together 9 years and being friends together before that, this is we've been in a long relationship, long successful relationship, and people don't necessarily will know that. So it's just so powerful. Again, we're in it for the forever, and I think we have a successful model on top of it because of our communication and commitment.
Yes.
Robert, I can see what you're doing. Leave his deck alone. Just because we're on a camera doesn't mean I won't speak up to you.
Robert wants to be tall.
Oh, that's what it is.
Well, he's making his arm long. It's going past Giovanni's neck, and he's okay. Anyway, all right. Well, yeah, there's so much, and there's so much to say truly about extended family and everything, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that we are who we are, and we found each other, and and that includes Linda and Kent and John and all the people out there listening, and Wayne. Wayne, you said the universe likes you, the universe loves you. You are the universe, Wayne. And it does truly take a village. And I'm so glad our village is all of you. So that's what I got.
That's what you got?
Yes.
Is that all?
But
Oh.
some of us have to get to our next show. That's right. I'll be on the Women of Power Hour with Laura Topper in just a few minutes. So stay tuned.
To Thought Media Network. So I just want to say thank you all for coming and hanging out with us and talking a little bit. We've barely scratched the surface, clearly, but wow. I don't know what it did to you, but it did a lot to me. And I just want to say that, let me see, Linda, I think you should share what you've learned in a book. People can benefit from all that you've co-created. Okay. Well, that may be coming soon. Who knows?
That may be coming soon, but before it comes, I think Linda and Kent will be on as our guests because they're doing some very exciting work out there in the world. So
Yeah.
we'll start writing the book soon as we get a date for you two to be on the show.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say it is a great journey, and I think, I keep saying this, but getting older, I keep seeing the possibilities differently, and I keep seeing how spirit shows up more clearly. And it was so much harder when I was younger, and I didn't I couldn't trust what was coming next. And so I feel for you two young people. I get it. It's harder to see how that's going to happen when it, you know, it just is. It's just how it is. And it's partly a spiritual growth journey and it's partly just a perspective journey. So we're there with you on it. Woohoo!
And this too shall pass. There will be times, I swear, where you'll be able to have your phone 24/7. It just won't be for about 7 years at least.
Oh,
And it'll probably cost you around $200 a month, but that's a whole nother story. All right.
And God Mama drops us into reality.
Here's my job.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So what
Happy
else?
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're so glad that we had our family join us. We're so glad we had each of you out there joining us. And we are grateful to be able to do Rockin the Love. And this was a fun show to do the day before Thanksgiving. And we will see you all next week as we head into December already, right? Or no, is there one more
There's
November?
one
One more
more.
November, the last Wednesday of November coming up. We will see you then. And thanks so much.
Happy
And just
Thanksgiving.
remember wherever you are to rock the love, especially on Thanksgiving.